New York Knicks insider Ian Begley has revealed a huge Mitchell Robinson injury update as there's more news to when Mitch will be able to rejoin the roster, and obviously he'll have a huge impact on the Knicks, who desperately need some defense, and we'll see Mitch and Karl-Anthony Towns play together in what's going to be a very exciting duo, and we're going to break this down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into the video because, guys, we all know the Knicks defense has a problem, and the problem is there's no rim protection, and that's because Mitchell Robinson is injured. Now, Jericho Sims actually is doing a very good job when it comes to field goal percentage at the rim, but at the same time, we all know when Mitchell Robinson gets back, he is going to be a complete game changer for the team in a way that Mitchell Robinson, or in a way that Jericho Sims just has not been able to be. But also, guys, real quick, make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment down below your thoughts on seeing Mitchell Robinson and Karl-Anthony Towns playing together. But let's jump into this, guys. Mitchell Robinson obviously has been out all season, and Ian Begley recently was asked about Mitch's just the update and how the recovery process is going, and we got some great news on Mitch's injury. As Begley mentioned the last time he checked, Robinson's rehab has been going very well, and the Knicks have projected his potential return for December to January. They don't want to bring him back until he's fully healthy, and Begley doesn't think there's a rush to get him back sooner than the January-December window, but it is reportedly believed that Mitchell Robinson will return sometime in January or December. I would guess January personally. And Hoops Hype mentioned that this is going to be big for the Knicks, as Mitchell Robinson has been brought up repeatedly as a potential fix for New York's issues with Towns at the 5, as the Knicks defense has just not been very good when it comes to at the rim. Now, Robinson has missed more than 20 games in 3 of the past 4 seasons, and he played just 31 games last year and is out for several more weeks due to the offseason ankle surgery that he had. Look, I mean, we all know Mitchell Robinson has not ever been super durable with the New York Knicks, but at the same time, he's totally a difference maker for this team. When Mitch is on the floor, the Knicks just look better. It's always been that way since he was a rookie, and the man is working very hard to come back and be fully healthy. He didn't come back fully healthy in the playoffs, and that's why now he's out till December or January, and the New York Knicks don't want to do that again. They want Mitch to be fully healthy. They'll probably bring him off the bench for a bit, just let him slowly but surely get back to game shape, and once that happens, we are going to see the New York Knicks. We're going to see all the defensive problems be fixed. I mean, when you got a defensive trio out there of Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Mitchell Robinson, potentially in lineups where we'll also see Deuce McBride or Josh Hart out there, the defense just can't fail. It's just, there's no way it will happen. There's no way, like, it's just too good of a defense. Mitchell Robinson will give the Knicks the one thing this team is missing defensively and really in general, in rim protection, and then on the other side of things, offensive rebounding. They're the 2 holes the Knicks have in their game right now, and the Knicks don't seem too worried about that because Mitchell Robinson not only is the best offensive rebounder in basketball, I mean, last season when the man was fully healthy, he was putting up 9 rebounds per game, and 5.5 of them were offensive. Now, Mitch's numbers did take a bit of a dip, as by the end of the season, he was averaging 5 and 8, and he was doing a little bit better than that. He was averaging over 10 rebounds per game before his injury, and then with the injury, things changed. But we even saw when he was hurt and on one leg, he was still able to give Joel Embiid a ton of issues. Now, Embiid, yes, was also on one leg with a knee injury, don't get me wrong, but still, it cancels itself out, and an injured Mitchell Robinson, someone who relies on his athleticism way more than Joel Embiid, someone who is a master of finesse and has a lot more angles to his game than just being a complete athletic freak, which, I mean, Embiid is in a different way, but Mitchell Robinson, the name to his game is athleticism, and he was able to slow Joel Embiid down in a way that Isaiah Hartenstein was struggling to, in a way that Jericho Sims couldn't, in a way that Precious Achiuwa did for a bit, but Mitch was by far the best at it. We saw Mitchell Robinson be a huge impact player for the New York Knicks in the playoffs when he came back. There's a reason why the Knicks just kept playing him more and more and more against the 76ers, because it was working despite the fact that he was playing on an injury. The entire time, Mitch was hobbling, he was limping the entire playoffs last year, and still gave his all for the New York Knicks. The man is going to help this team succeed, and the Knicks want him specifically for the playoffs. They don't care if their rim protection's bad throughout the season. Look, they're 4th seed in the league right now at 7-6, or 4th seed in the Eastern Conference at 7-6. And they're not too worried about what happens in the regular season. They're worried about what happens in the playoffs, and Mitchell Robinson being healthy for the playoffs is what matters. They want to get him warmed up. He'll probably My guess is that Mitch will miss another 20-ish games. So the Knicks are they're 7-6 right now. You're 13 games into the season, 20 more games. That's around 33 to 38 games, we'll say, that he'll miss, at least at the start. He won't play back-to-backs for a bit. Mitchell Robinson, in total, I think we're looking at a guy who's going to play around 40 games this season if he stays healthy after coming back onto the court. And I know already comments are going to be saying, well, he's just going to get hurt again instantly. Look, Mitchell Robinson is injury prone. There's no way around it, he is. But let's not act like Mitchell Robinson is just always hurt. He was in the 2022 playoffs, 2023 playoffs for the New York Knicks. Dominated at the same time, mind you, Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Mitch was a huge reason why the Knicks dominated that series and won in 5 games against the Cavs team that many people thought the Knicks would lose to. Mitchell Robinson has been imperative for the New York Knicks whenever he's healthy, and right now we're going to see Mitchell Robinson be healthy once again, and that's going to have a huge positive impact on the team. So, the Knicks are going to take it slow with him. He's not going to start at first. He's not going to play back-to-backs. We're going to see Mitch play somewhere around 40-ish games this season. He'll probably start 15 to 20 of them and then have his biggest role come in the NBA playoffs, which is exactly when you need Mitchell Robinson to play. Tom Thibodeau's going to have to figure out a way to work around this defensive issue that they're going to have for the majority of the season. Now, here's the short answer. You play Ariel Hukporti when Mitchell Robinson's not available. That's how you do things. I mean, the man, against the Nets, the only game where we've seen him get real minutes for the entirety of the game, the man had 3 blocks. He's great. He's comfortable on offense. Hukporti's awesome. He does this every once in a while, which is cool. Ariel Hukporti is just going to be a huge help to the New York Knicks, and Tom Thibodeau is probably going to start to use him more because I feel like I just go on this Jericho Sims bashing tour, which I'm not trying to do. Hukporti is just better at basketball than Jericho Sims. I'm sorry, Jericho. I'm rooting for Jericho Sims because he's very fun to watch. I mean, he's a super athlete. That vertical is unbelievable. Hukporti is better than Jericho Sims. And when that is the case, the Knicks should go with Hukporti over Jericho Sims. I think most Knicks fans would agree with me here. If the Knicks decide to do that, we're going to see the defense improve. And it'll be good enough for the regular season. I know Tibbs won't be satisfied, and Tibbs really has to knock it off with playing Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby 10 million minutes per game, and that's another story for another day. But there's also a ton of injuries right now anyway, and Precious Achiuwa will also be back, and he'll give the Knicks a big spark in rim protection. Also, he'll be back before Mitchell Robinson, so we will see Precious Achiuwa come in and give the Knicks a lot of help there, which is going to be good to see. Now, there's also one other thing that matters, and that is Karl-Anthony Towns. The man, I mean, there's no way around it. He's phenomenal. He's going to be an all-star starter if he keeps playing like this. Dude, the way he scores the basketball is unbelievable. He's having one of the best seasons of his NBA career. He's putting up 26.5 points per game with nearly 13 rebounds. Like, the guy's unreal right now. Like, he should be in MVP conversations. He should be in all-NBA first-team conversations early on into this season. The man's been absolutely phenomenal. He's been the big bodega. He rocks. I'm so sorry, Carl. I was not familiar with your game. You are that good. I was wrong. He's just that good. Except on defense, where he's not that good at all. And that's where Mitch comes in. And Precious at points, and Jericho at points, and Hukporti at points, and maybe they make a trade and there's a different center. Who knows? What happens is, and I'm actually about to do a trade update video on where the Knicks are at with trades, so make sure you stay tuned for that to subscribe to the channel. But Mitchell Robinson will be a huge help for that, and Ian Begley has talked about that. Now, I did a whole video on this already, but as Begley mentioned, he can say confidently that New York will want to see the lineups with Towns and Mitchell Robinson on the floor together if possible. Robinson is currently rehabbing from foot surgery, and when he makes it back to the floor, if that happens, which he probably will despite initial fear that he would never play again, Begley can't see Mitch starting right away, which is absolutely correct, but he does think the Knicks will want to see how the Towns-Robinson frontcourt performs, especially after Karl-Anthony Towns last season. Cat played 95% of his minutes last season at the power forward slot because of Naz Reid and Rudy Gobert being on the Timberwolves. We're going to see Towns move back to that power forward spot. The scoring gets impacted a little bit, which I worry about. He's better at scoring as a 5. But we'll see Karl-Anthony Towns figure it out. Mitchell Robinson does offer a bit more spacing than Rudy Gobert because Mitch kind of hangs out in the dunker spot in such a weird way where it does create a bit more spacing than most centers who don't shoot the ball. So we will see that. And when Precious is out there, the guy can hit a mid-range pretty well. So the Knicks won't even have to worry about that. Towns will still be able to get his one-on-ones at the rim where he's just been downright phenomenal this season. So if all this works out well and Mitchell Robinson is able to come back and be fully healthy, what we're going to see is a New York Knicks team that just doesn't have a hole in their game, and they are going to be contending for an NBA championship. I know they have not had the hottest start to the season, but they're a new team. I said in a video a while ago, and I've repeated it a bunch. I did say before the season started, the Knicks are just not going to be anywhere well above 500 for the first 20 games of the season. We're 13 games into the season right now. Another 2 weeks or so, and I think we'll start to see the Knicks at their stride. I think Precious Achiuwa coming back is going to help that. And then the Knicks were always able to go on massive runs after they made trades, whether it was for Josh Hart, whether it was for Derrick Rose the year prior, whether it was for OG Anunoby. We see the Knicks make these January trades where they get so much better. The Knicks don't have to make a January trade. They have a player right here who is going to come back, and he is going to be a huge help to the team. So when Mitch comes back, I can never point correctly, guys. But when Mitch comes back, that's going to be a huge help for the New York Knicks. But I obviously want to know what y'all think. So like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications, guys. Do all that stuff. As I said before, I'm doing this with strep throat, guys. It's not fun to talk for 12 straight minutes when you have strep throat. So make sure to subscribe. I'm out here grinding for y'all. Please return the favor. Have a great day, and go Knicks.